Look, I have not been excited about something like this in a very long time. I need you to pay attention. I don't whip out the price predictions unless I'm very, very serious about something, guys. So I'm going to rip money.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You know I rip money when I try to capture attention. So I'm ripping more money. Yes, this money is figuratively and literally fake. And I think it's worth ripping it to capture all of your attention.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I just found so much evidence that Litecoin can actually make you a millionaire, and a fraction of the time to become a millionaire in the United States. If you invest and consider the cost of living, it takes approximately 61 years to become a millionaire in the United States of America, one of the most profitable countries on earth. It still takes 61 years. And what I'm proposing here can make you a millionaire in a fraction of the time. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, and I'm not joking, guys. I know I play around a lot on this channel, but I'm ripping up money as we speak to prove my point. Litecoin is looking extremely bullish. I'm going to be going over Litecoin, all its features that are going to be rolled out in the next year or so, as well as I'm making a price prediction, guys. I'm making another price prediction. You know you like it when I make these price predictions. And if you appreciate this content, do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell. Every video in this channel is talking about entrepreneurship, cryptocurrency, and basically I try to keep it as transparent, open, and honest as possible. We do not accept sponsorships in any way, shape, or form. And all the content I provide is mine and mine only, unscripted and complete. Total truth. Honesty is the best policy, because lying on the internet was never a good marketing tactic. Let me jump into the actual video and stop wasting your time. So I am not joking with you. Litecoin is going to moon. Now, before we go into it, I have to explain the features of Litecoin and the differences between Bitcoin, because what's the point in buying something you don't know? And of course, none of this is financial advice, but I'll tell you what, I purchased Litecoin immediately after reading and doing some of this research. So I'm going to give you a brief history lesson. Litecoin happens to be one of the oldest cryptocurrencies. It was created a long time ago as a fork, not a fork, but a copycat of Bitcoin. Now, the only difference is that they use a different type of code. They use a scripting language, okay? Utilized and traded for 9 years after its inception. It's currently the second oldest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin that continues to maintain its position with the top 20 cryptocurrencies ranked by market capitalization. You can see a lot of the top 10, a lot of the top 5 have been falling off. Litecoin holds that position for a very long time, and I'm going to show you why. The features are incredible, I will admit. I didn't realize this before, and I'm humble enough to say on this channel that, you know, I was wrong about Litecoin in the past, and this has made me extremely bullish. Litecoin actually used a different algorithm. Instead of using SHA-256, they actually use script, okay? And it actually has some benefits, okay? One of them being the block time of 2.5 minutes compared to the, 10 to 15 minutes of Bitcoin's block time. And now another benefit that most people don't know, when it comes to, Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash, they use the same algorithm. So they're actually susceptible to hacks, right? So what does that mean? So the basically 51% attack means that like all the miners get together and they double spend the blockchain. They basically print more Bitcoin. And the way they could do that is by having the majority control over the blockchain. Now, the reason why I never invest in Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV is simply because Bitcoin's miners can go attack them, double spend their blockchain, completely ruin all the credibility of that blockchain, and then go back to mining Bitcoin at the same time, right? So being that it's script instead of SHA-256 and Litecoin, and they get the benefits of copying Bitcoin and its security and what's worked for the longest period of time, right? As well as the benefits of increased block time and the benefit of not being, in competition with Bitcoin itself. So I think that's a really bullish thing, right? Another aspect I think is really cool is that they actually had a fair launch, and you could arguably say that is a little bit more fair than Bitcoin. So what that basically means is when this coin was actually created, the only way you can accumulate Bitcoin and Litecoin is through mining it, right? Proof of work. This is the consensus mechanism. Essentially, you contribute your computer power, they reward you in Bitcoin and Litecoin, right? Now, the reason why people are saying Litecoin might be a better launch is simply for the fact that nobody knew about Bitcoin back in the day, right? There was no, it was mined by nerds, like people that, were in the steampunk community that kind of knew about it. And they're probably playing around. They weren't mining it seriously, right? It was the first coin to launch. Now, Litecoin actually told everybody they were going to launch before they launched, and Bitcoin was already semi-successful. So what that basically means is not only, was it fair, right? And the fact that they didn't have any pre-mined coins, they only had like 150 pre-mined coins just to test it, right? It was fair in that aspect, but it was also fair in the fact that they gave everybody an equal opportunity to get in ASAP, right? Bitcoin, it was mined for a long period of time, before like people started realizing it was a thing. Litecoin, people already knew it was a thing before launching, so it gave it more of a competitive touch to it when it launched, right? So this is, people say it's more fair. I think the fact that they let people know before, way ahead of time, it was going to launch on a specific day, it was like kind of like a starting line, right? And with Bitcoin, there was no starting line. It was like, who knew about it, right? That's exactly what it was. So I thought that was really interesting. I never thought of it like that. Now, one of the reasons I'm really bullish on Litecoin is for the specific fact of fungibility. And I'm going to explain this, right? Aristotle's rules of money, or the principles of money, or whatever the case is. This is one area where Bitcoin lacks, in cryptocurrencies, some of them, not all of them, but some of the cryptocurrencies, the vast majority of them, lack in this specific area. I'll explain that concept, but it's supposed to be solved with something called Mimblewimble, which is an upgrade to the blockchain. And this can actually happen on any blockchain they want to, but they're actually upgrading Litecoin fairly soon. Okay, fairly soon. I'll explain. It's actually supposed to be like really soon, and this is another reason why I'm probably going to accumulate some Litecoin. But specifically, this makes it private, and it'll start to play out. I'll explain. I just want to explain to you the concept of Mimblewimble, and then I'll explain to you why it's really important to hide transaction history. I'll explain. Litecoin, being one of the oldest cryptocurrencies in existence, has proven itself to be reliable, secure money. It also has the advantages of name recognition, high liquidity, which is important. It's on every single exchange in the world, right? Due to this, it consistently ranks in top 4 of trading volume on a global scale, and is currently the second most available cryptocurrency in ATMs after Bitcoin. There's no doubt that Bitcoin continues to be the gold standard, especially when it comes to security. But Litecoin has proven itself to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. Increasingly enough, according to Coinbase metrics, Litecoin's price is 98% correlated to Bitcoin's. So it's obviously faster, right? They have the advantages of a fair launch. They have the supposed, in the future, advantages of Mimblewimble, which is going to help fungibility, which we'll explain. And these features right there are very favorable for cryptocurrency in today's world. Let me explain. There's one thing I really want to show you guys. So this is right here. There's a couple of features of Bitcoin that make it superior to other forms of currency. The first one is divisibility. Now, when it comes to gold, it sucks. You can't really split gold into small fractions. You can't go buy a cup of coffee with gold, right? With fiat currency, it's pretty good, right? We have cents. And even it's not even as good as Bitcoin or Litecoin, because we can, I forgot exactly, but you can split up Bitcoin and Litecoin up into like 1 million Satoshis or something like that. You can split it up into even smaller factors than a cent, right? Transportability, right? Obviously, gold sucks. You can't move $1 million worth of gold across the world. Fiat currencies, easy to transfer. Same thing with Bitcoin and Litecoin. It's probably easier to transfer Bitcoin and Litecoin because it's on a little ledger, right? Cash, if you have like $100,000 of cash, it's like a big lump sum. It's probably a little bit better. Scarcity, of course. Gold has a scarcity factor, okay? Fiat currency, there is no scarcity. They're printing it out of thin air, right? That's all they do, okay? Now, Bitcoin and Litecoin, of course, they have a limited supply. So, and you could even say, when it comes to gold specifically, they can find more gold somewhere, right? We know for a fact there's a limited amount of Bitcoin and Litecoin. When it comes to gold, that we can just run into gold somewhere. So the scarcity is going to be a little bit less than Bitcoin and Litecoin. Now, fungibility, and we'll explain the durability. I don't want to explain that, but I want to specifically jump into fungibility, okay? You can read this article for yourself. Fungibility is a concept where one Bitcoin doesn't equal one Bitcoin, okay? And you're like, Alex, of course it does. You can sell it on exchange. One Bitcoin does equal one Bitcoin. Well, not really, okay? Being that Bitcoin has a history of transactions, right? You can literally look and see where Bitcoin has been since its inception. So since it got mined, right, whatever, let's say you have Bitcoin A, right? Since it was mined in a block, you could see where it's been through all its history. This is what the public ledger is. This is what the block explorer is. If you ever used a block explorer, this is exactly what this means, right? Now, the reason I'm explaining that to you is because what if it touched the hands of a drug dealer? What if it touched the hands of someone's been selling, illegal firecrackers on the internet, right? What if it touched the hands of a child predator paying for porn or something like that, right? So the point I'm trying to get across is that there's been multiple situations where there's been like kind of dirty money or dirty cryptocurrency going through exchanges and then halting the transactions or investigating platforms, right? So being the fact that you could see the whole history of transactions, it has issues with fungibility, right? You don't want to get Bitcoin from a scammer. You never want to get Bitcoin from a scammer. So one Bitcoin doesn't necessarily, it does, of course, but it doesn't necessarily mean it equals one Bitcoin. Now, in the case of Litecoin, they're hiding the transactions, right? So you can't see someone's balance. So you can see the history of all, the transfers that's ever been made, right? The point of that, and the point I'm trying to get across to you is the fungibility on fiat currency is high. And that's probably the only thing that's winning when it comes to cryptocurrency, gold, and fiat. Fiat and gold are winning because you don't know where it came from, okay? But in cryptocurrency, you know where it is. So that's a big issue that we've been dealing with, and that's probably the only problem and the only advantage to actual cash. Okay, Litecoin is solving this issue with Mimblewimble and privacy transactions. I'm not going to explain exactly how it works, but I wanted to make you aware of this because it can be a superior form of money. We always talk about Bitcoin being a superior form of money. This can change the game. This can change the game. And when I saw this factor, it blew my mind. And the fact that I missed this is crazy. This is how you know, guys, I'm human just like you, right? So pay attention, do your own research, have an open mind, right? Listen to everybody's perspective because you never know. You never know if you're wrong. And I'm telling you right now, I have been wrong in the past. Litecoin has some characteristics that I find very valuable. Now, this is very interesting because I've also always said that if the government came out with like a ban for privacy transactions, right? Because privacy, they don't want people to have private transactions, right? They don't want people to do that. The beauty of Litecoin is they actually took that into consideration. They made a decision that you could use it for either or. So if for some reason the government one day decides to suppress privacy enhancing cryptocurrencies, right? Exchanges would only have to stop the supporting extension block, not Litecoin's main chain. So the Mimblewimble upgrade is going to be kind of like an extra feature that they can take off whenever they want. The fact that they thought of this, and put in that feature already shows that they are thinking ahead, and they've been thinking ahead for a very long period of time. And I think it's very favorable to understand that they can get past this roadblock if it ever came, because this is a big roadblock. It's actually turned me off from privacy coins in the past. And, it's really interesting that they can do that, right? Also, Mimblewimble, being that it's a side chain, it's kind of like a parallel chain, as you can see here, right? Mimblewimble. It allows for increased transaction speeds and ability to scale better, right? So really interesting, guys. The purpose of Mimblewimble is to achieve higher fungibility and improve privacy as a basic human right. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting way to go about it, I will say. And this was an interesting fact too. In 2018, the Federal Reserve conducted a study and came to the conclusion about 26% of all transactions in the United States are settled in cash, right? We're in the digital era, and most of the money's actually probably on like a computer somewhere, and they're just kind of typing in numbers to print it. But people are still 26% of all payments made were in cash. That's really interesting. And that shows that people want that privacy because of the fungibility. They want the privacy. And I mean, most of illegal drug trade and everything like that goes through United States dollar and physical cash. So clearly there's a demand for it, okay? In our current data-driven world, cash continues to be the most private form of payment, and with Mimblewimble's added features, Litecoin will become the most cash-like cryptocurrency in the top 10 due to its added autonomy features. Interesting stuff, guys. You need to really pay attention. So as you can see here, they're getting, the fungibility factor a plus. They're giving fungibility a plus, and you need to pay attention to this because it actually can be the coin that people transact on, right? I can definitely see a situation where Bitcoin becomes more like a digital gold, and then Litecoin becomes a situation where it's like a silver, right? And this is like kind of like what everybody's been talking about since its inception. Everybody compares Ethereum's like the gas, Litecoin's the silver, and Bitcoin is the gold. So it's definitely something we need to take in consideration. And this is also the progress thread for Mimblewimble, and it came out, he basically, the guy that's creating it came out with kind of like a prototype of what it's going to look like, and it hasn't dropped yet. It's going to drop, and I will anticipate that when it does drop, when Mimblewimble does, they already have it done. They're just getting it audited by multiple people. They don't know how long it's going to take, but once it does drop, mark my words, it's going to be extremely bullish for Litecoin. So it might be the time to accumulate it back. Now, another factor is that it hasn't really gotten much interest as it did in 2017, 2018. If you look at Ethereum, we're up like at the 75% mark right here. If you look at Bitcoin, we're up at the 75% mark. It's still undervalued. As we speak, it's extremely undervalued. Once we see that spike up there, we could easily see like a 20x. Pay attention. Pay attention. You're getting the gems on this channel. Also, Grayscale is accumulating. They said they accumulated about 81% of the total mined coins for the past 30 days. They're accumulating at a higher level. lowering the supply, which is obviously bullish for any cryptocurrency. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, guys. It's gonna be crazy, but I have to do this type of stuff. It's fun, okay? We're not here taking this serious. This is me just kind of throwing darts in the dark, okay? It's not something you should take 100% serious, but I think it's cool to look at a price prediction to see where our money could potentially be in the future. Can Litecoin actually turn you into a millionaire? Yes, I'm here to tell you, and I'm telling you with a straight face of a guy on the internet that's showing you his credibility, right? I'm not like some random person with a weird avatar that's talking smack on the internet. This is a person putting his credibility on the line, telling you right now, Litecoin, yes, can make you a millionaire. Let me show you exactly what that means and how it can do it, okay? So basically, if you pull up the historical snapshot of all of the history of cryptocurrencies, you can come to some weird realizations. Specifically, December 3rd of 2017, you can see that Litecoin took off at a pretty rapid rate. Let's actually pull up the chart. So if we come over here, look at that spike. That's the spike we're really looking for again. Like, look at that spike, right? And as you can see, it kind of started December 3rd, December 4th, right? And then ended like in January, or no, it ended before January. So it ended like December 17th, December 19th, something around there, right? So if we pull up the historical snapshots from that time period, right? Let's say hypothetically, Litecoin takes back, you know, the top 5 position, because look, it was top 5 here. This is December 3rd. It probably jumped up and it was still top, it was number 6, but look, it popped up 45%. And I think this is the one where it really jumped up. Everything was, look at Cardano. Cardano jumped up too. Litecoin right here jumped up 110%, right? It was $318 at this time period. It was top 5. So assuming it takes that top 5 position, here's just another day. It kind of dropped a couple of ranks, but still in this past 7 days, it went up 25%. Assuming it gets to the top 5 rank, right? Also, this is assuming that the total, you know, Bitcoin plays its role and passes gold. And this is not too far out. There's been hundreds of experts that said, and you can go look this up for yourself. My goal is not to make this video too long. There's been a lot of experts that said that Bitcoin is going to pass gold's market cap of $10 trillion. Okay. So assuming, right, assuming it does that, let's say Bitcoin, you know, jumps up, you know, whatever so amount, it takes the market cap of gold, right? Bitcoin's market cap is now equivalent or more of gold. Okay. What would that mean for Litecoin, right? So if you look at the total market capitalization right here, you can see on January 5th, 2018 is kind of the peak of the last cycle. Everybody here knows that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies work in like about 4 to 5 year cycles. Hopefully you do. If you don't, go look up my cycle video or my Bitcoin price prediction video. It explains it a little bit better. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is if you take the total market cap and you divide it, right? Or you take the percentage of, not divide, if you take the percentage of what it was as a top 5 cryptocurrency, right? So let's come back here. At a top 5 cryptocurrency, actually specifically this one, it was $17 billion, right? $17 billion, 17 billion as a percentage of 769 billion, okay, is 2.21%. Now, if we bring it back over here to total market cap, as you can see here, I'm not making up these numbers, $765 billion, $765 billion, 769, I believe if we go like really accurate, it gets to 69. Yeah, 769. It's around that range. You guys see I'm not BSing you. If we take the percentage of that, you can see that Litecoin had about 2.21% of the total market capitalization. Again, now I'm actually relating this to the whole market capitalization of crypto. So if the value of cryptocurrency is worth about $10 trillion and Litecoin takes its top 5 position again, and it has about 2.21% of the total market cap, the predictions get a little bit out of hand. Let me do some math. I'm gonna pull up a calculator, all right? Because we could easily do the math here. So we take 10 trillion, multiply it by the 2.21%, which is right here. You guys can see it. And that means that market cap of Litecoin can be $221 billion, okay? So if we take this and divide it by the circulating supply, the $221 billion divided by the circulating supply, which you can see literally right here is 66 million, okay? We have a number that might blow your mind a little bit, okay? Bear with me. So I'm just gonna take it and do it for math's sake. Let's copy, let's paste it in here, right? Divided by 666,23925. You get $3,317 per coin. Now I'm gonna blow your mind because it doesn't take that much to become a millionaire nowadays, and it doesn't take that much time either if you do it the right way. If you spend approximately $60,000 and buy Litecoin right now, if you spend $60,000 and potentially buy Litecoin right now, right, it's going to give you, okay, let's do the math. So this is $3,000. If we get $60,000 and divided by the current price of Litecoin, which is $186, it gives you 322 coins. Now we just got the price prediction of the actual asset. Multiply that by 3,317. That gives you $1 million, guys. So with about $60,000, you could potentially become a millionaire. And a fraction of the time to do it is if you actually make the average salary and the average household income in the United States. It takes you about 64 years. We could do this in the next cycle. In the next, like, maybe I would say realistically, if I were to like overestimate, 8 to 10 years. Now, if it plays out the way data science models are supposed to be playing out, maybe 5, maybe 3 to 5. And this is life-changing wealth, guys. This is something that humans have never seen before. So don't play around. I know it might sound crazy, guys. I know it might sound crazy, but I have done it before. I have 127x my money. I was buying Ethereum at $3 to $7. Right now, it's currently sitting at what, like $1,800? Okay, that's more than 127x. So pay attention, guys. The biggest transfer of wealth humans have ever seen before is upon you. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, I say it every time. If you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.